Hey guys, welcome to Storytime with Miss Stefanie. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. In honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to read my favorite, Slugs in Love by Susan Pearson, illustrated by Kevin O Malley. And then I have a special treat for you after we finish, so you want to stay tuned. These are our main characters. We have Herbie and MaryLou. MaryLou loved everything about Herbie. How his slime trail glistened in the dark. How he could stretch himself thin to squeeze inside the cellar window. How he always found the juiciest tomato. Though she never spoke a single word to him, she was too shy, she thought about Herbie every morning and every night and most of the hours in between. On Monday, while she grazed in the strawberry patch, Herbie filled her mind, and a love poem filled her heart. She wrote it in slime on the watering can. Strawberries are red, blueberries are blue. Herbie is handsome. Love MaryLou. The next morning, Herbie found it. He looked around. There were already at least 60 slugs in the garden. Which one, he wondered, was MaryLou? Herbie decided to send a message back. He wrote it on the garden hoe. MaryLou, which one are you? Meet me here at 2:30. Yours truly, Herbie. But the gardener put the hoe away in the barn, so MaryLou never saw Herbie's message. On Tuesday, while MaryLou was hiding from the sun in the ivy, she saw Herbie hiding under a stone, and a poem came immediately to mind. She wrote it on the wheelbarrow later that day. The sun is shining all around. It shines on field and tree. But Herbie's safe beneath a rock. I wish he'd think of me. Love, MaryLou. MaryLou loves Herbie, teased Jethro on Wednesday morning. Herbie blushed. Who is MaryLou? He asked. But Jethro didn't know either. Herbie sent another message. This time, he wrote it on a fence where it would stay put. To MaryLou, you could make my life complete. I'd love to meet someone so sweet. Tell me where and I'll be there. Sincerely, Herbie. But that afternoon, it rained, and his letter washed away. Even when MaryLou was sleeping, poems to Herbie filled her dreams. She woke early and wrote another poem on the scarecrow. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Herbie, Herbie, handsome slug, MaryLou would love a hug. Love, MaryLou. That MaryLou is some poet, said Sammy. Do you know her? Herbie asked excitedly. I think she's the brownish one, said Sammy. All day long, Herbie searched for a brownish slug, but next to the brown dirt, they all looked a little brown. Herbie left another message on the watermelons. Your poems make me happy, your poems make me glad, but I can't find you, MaryLou, and that makes me sad. Your friend, Herbie. But MaryLou was in the squash patch that day and didn't see Herbie's note. She left another poem behind on the zucchini. Herbie, you would make me as happy as can be if you'd just pay attention and please, please notice me. Love, MaryLou. Herbie was at his wit's end. He had been noticing her. Well, her poems anyway. And he'd asked everyone he could think of if they knew her. I think she's the greenish one, said Homer. I think she's the pinkish one, said Jodelle. Maybe she's the one who lacks tomatoes, said Adelaide. All slugs like tomatoes, said Herbie. But Adelaide had given him an idea. Herbie climbed to the top of the tallest tomato plant. On his way back down, he wrote a message. Look at me! I've climbed so high that I can see the world pass by. Mice and ants and old black shoe. But MaryLou, where are you? I've left you poems near and far. Won't you tell me where you are? Love, Herbie. And that night, when MaryLou went out to snack on a tomato, she found Herbie's message glistening in the garden. What joy! What gladness! What delight! MaryLou could hardly contain herself as she hurried to the barn. The next morning, the first thing Herbie saw was, "Your rhyme is sublime, Herbie dear. I am here." As always, when she saw Herbie, poetry filled MaryLou's head. She said, "Herbie, I am MaryLou. We meet at last. How do you do?" Herbie was tongue-tied. Suddenly he felt shy. But at last he blurted out, "I'm fine. Will you be mine?" MaryLou and Herbie lived happily ever after. The end. What a sweet book for Valentine's Day. So hold on, and I will be right back with a special surprise. All right, welcome back. I thought we would make a fun Valentine craft based on Herbie and MaryLou. This is going to be really cute, and you can make your little sluggies move around. So you're going to need a few materials. You're going to need some red paper, some pink paper, some brown paper, and some green paper. So what I did was I went on the computer, and moms and dads can help, and you can go to like Google Images, or if you're a really good artist, see, I'm not very good at drawing, but if you're a really good artist, you could make a little slug. And then I traced it on some brown paper and cut it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this liquid glue and take a craft stick, popsicle stick, and I'm going to take googly eyes, and I'm going to make my Herbie MaryLou here. So I'm going to put just a dab of the liquid glue, if I can get it to come out. Whee! Just a little bit. And put my eyeballs on. And the reason I'm doing this first is because the liquid glue takes a little bit of time to dry. And so I want to make sure this dries before I start moving it around. And I'm going to get a pen or a pencil or a marker or whatever you like. And I'm going to give my slug a happy face. All right, so that's one slug. And I'm going to put a little glue on my stick. And I'm going to put him, I think I'm going to have this one be Herbie. Okay, so there he is. And I'm going to set him aside to dry. And I'm going to do a second one. So you need to cut out a second little slug. And this time you're going to flip it the other way. So the first one I did was like this. And I'm going to flip it like this so that they can meet in the middle to give a little sluggy kiss. Okay, so I got a little glue for my eyes. I'm going to take two more of my googlies. It's getting googly. Thank you, Big Block Sing Song. I'm going to do another little mouth. Oh, very cute, MaryLou. I'll put a little glue there, and we will let her set up to dry. Yay! Okay, so we'll put those there to they can hang out and dry. Next thing we want to do is make our Valentine card. So get a piece of red paper, and we're going to make a heart. Now this is really easy to make a heart. You guys totally know how to do this, right? You fold your paper in half, and then you draw an ear. Super, super simple. Here we go. And we draw an ear. Just like that. And I have my scissors. And I'm going to cut out my ear. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And we've made a heart. Yay! So I actually have my heart pre-cut here. And I did the same thing on a piece of pink paper, except I made my pink heart just a little bit smaller. So easy peasy, you guys can do that. I'm gonna take a glue stick this time, just because when I have 2 bits of paper, I like to use a glue stick. Using the liquid glue for non-paper stuff, like we did our slugs, it makes it stick better, but really the best thing to stick paper together is the glue stick. Sometimes the liquid glue can make it all wiggly and too damp, and then you get wrinkles. But if you don't have a glue stick, you can use liquid glue. That's totally fine. Okay, so now I have stuck my red heart and my pink heart together. So pretty. And then I took a piece of green paper. Now I'm using cardstock just because it's a little thicker, but you can use construction paper, whatever you like. And also with your slugs, if you don't have brown paper and you want to cut it out on white paper and then color it in to give it some nice texture and different colors like that, go for it. Guys are excellent artists. So I have my green piece of paper, and all I did was measure it to about the size of the heart. It can be bigger if you want to have it up here. It can be smaller if you want it down there. Either way, does not matter. But you have a piece of green rectangle. I'm going to turn this into grass. But there's a little bit of a trick here. Because my heart isn't a rectangle and this is, I want to make sure that I have a place to glue it down. So when I make my grass by doing lots of little cuts, I'm going to leave a thicker piece of grass on either side. So I got something to glue it to. See how I did on this one? You see I have all these little pieces of grass, but then this one is thicker. It just means I can glue it down a little better. So I'm going to do that with this here. I'm going to do my bigger cut, and then I'm going to do lots of little, and I don't want to go all the way down. I don't want to get all the way down. I want just a little bit of grass, like that, because I want to leave room here to write my Valentine message. So I'm going to think about who I'm going to send this to for my Valentine. And let's see, here I go. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I love you as much as Herbie loves MaryLou. Yay, nice little Valentine. And then I'm going to put glue just on these little thick ends here of my grass. Now I'll stick it here and just stick down the corners. And now I have my little Herbie and MaryLou, and I can slide them right in here, just like this. Oh, they're gonna get closer. Hello. And you have your very own special Slugs in Love Valentine. Well, thank you for joining me and our special craft activity. We'll see you again next time. Happy Valentine's Day!